And then my manager goes, right, I've got an idea. We're going to ask KSI. And I've admitted this to KSI. I was a bit like Zante, and the club that I walked into to get the job I now own. So I bought half of that club last year. There was like Atlantic, and there was a really small label that hadn't really done much. So they had a DJ that's got, not on the radio, not got any singles, to say, I'm doing a concert at the O2. And everyone's like, who the hell is going to want to go and see a club DJ at an O2 and like sit down and watch you and stuff? And everyone was just saying, what are you doing? And like some people that are saying, don't do it, bro. You're going to tarnish your brand, you know, or do I take a risk? And I thought, do you know what? I've took risks my whole career. Something huge, like if it's being streamed on TV, like Reading and Leeds or Wembley, or if it's obviously like 80,000 people, I'm a bit like, bloody hell, like this is big. That tune at that time was the perfect time for me and him. It made complete sense and it changed my life. And, you know, got another tune coming soon.
Give us the exclusive. Hello and welcome to another episode with the Podcast Club. Today we are here with one of the most in-demand DJs on the planet. He has singles with KSI, he has singles with Little Mix. There are plaques all over this beautiful house. Nathan Dawe, everybody.
Hello, thank you for having me, boys.
How are you, bro?
I'm all right. I'm a little bit tired. It's late now, isn't it? It's midnight.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. It's all right.
We do appreciate it.
It's a night hours anyway, so it's all good. But no, it's good to see you, lads. Good to see you.
Thank you for having us, bro.
Of course.
I want to go back a little bit and talk about how you got into DJing, if that's okay.
Absolutely. So when I was younger, I used to go to like family parties, watch the DJ and stuff, and just think like it's pretty cool how he can control the whole vibe of the party. Like this one geezer or lady that stood there can just control if everyone's going to stand up, everyone's going to go out for a fag. Like he has the actual power. So I used to just be fixated on the DJ. And my dad used to say to the DJs that, oh, can Nathan just stand there and watch her and stuff? And they'd be like, yeah, you can watch. And yeah, just kind of went from there. That's how I grew my interest. And then now and again, the DJs would let me have a little go and whatever. Then I would self-teach myself at home, just on like actual CD player. I'd get 2 TC players and like try and mix the two, which was obviously impossible. And then I got some decks, like some Argos decks for my birthday or Christmas when I was like 8 or 9. 8 or 9, yeah. Wow. Got some decks, and then remember the home mix ones?
Yeah.
I've still got them. And yeah, just started doing little bits and bobs at home, charging my family to come in my bedroom to watch me play and that. Yeah, they still wind me up about that, but I have paid him back quite a lot since. But and then I went on to doing like school discos. Mm-hmm. So my primary school was really supportive, and they were like, yeah, you can do the school discos. Then I did like birthday parties, like 13, 14-year-olds, all my mates. And then, because Burton's quite a small town, I was one of very few DJs that were kind of doing it. So whenever anyone turned like 16 or 18, I was always the DJ. And then it kind of, from that age then, 16, 17, is when it started to be like a profession.
The then first decks ever had still work?
Oh, I've not played them for a few years, but they are at home in my mum and dad's house. So I reckon I could still give it a go, yeah.
You know the thing about that old equipment, bro, that don't break?
Yeah, you throw it up the stairs.
Do not break.
It's just
like
a
Nokia.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Nokia will break.
Dash, yeah. They're the quality, yeah.
So you took it as a profession at 17. Mm-hmm. Did you have a normal job then, or did you just straight...
I was working at Primark, and I was getting £16 for 4 hours. And by the time I got the bus and I got some food, I was coming home with like 11 quid. And then I would go on the night time, I would DJ at a pub called The Leopard for like 4 hours for 50 quid. And I thought, what am I doing at Primark, really? Like, you know, if I could go and earn 4 times the money, I know I'm really talking 50 quid, but I was only 16 at the time. You know, if I can go and earn 50 quid playing some music or earn £10 folding T-shirts for 4 hours, I thought I really need to put some more effort into this DJing thing and try and make it more of a career. So that's when I started getting like my business cards and promoting myself as much as I can around the local area, so that I would get birthday parties and stuff and I could charge them like 70 quid, 80 quid. and then double up doing the pub at the night time. So in a short space of time, I went from like 16 quid every Saturday to like 120 quid, which, you know, when you're 15
That's
years
a lot of
old,
money
it's,
back then.
we just didn't know what to do with it.
Even if you wasn't 15, that was a lot more
Well,
money
it
back
was,
then than it is
yeah.
now.
It was ridiculous. I didn't really know what to do with it at the time. But that's what made me realise, if I can work hard and make this into a career, my only dream at that time was to be able to just do that as a full-time job.
So did you always know that you'd be Nathan Dawe that you are now?
It's a good question. Obviously, I get it all the time. I do remember like being in school and thinking, I'm gonna do music one way or another, whether that's DJing or it's putting events on. It was always going to be something to do with the music industry. Because I remember being in like science and thinking, I don't need to be in this lesson. Like I'm not going to do anything to do with this. And then it's quite funny that, looking back now, but like, you know, in year 11, you get like Leavers Awards. I don't know if you got that. And I got voted to be like most likely to be famous was what I won. So I think I always had like a little something that people could see that was like, he's determined, he doesn't take no for an answer, and he's going to become successful. Don't think I ever imagined it would go as well as it has, but I think I always knew deep down I was going to make it work some way. Do you know what I mean?
At what point did you go to Zante to do a season? Was Zante the first place that you went?
I went to Bulgaria on holiday.
Okay.
And then the following year, went to Zante on holiday. This is when I was 18. So I'm 28 now. It's 10 years ago. So what year is that? 2013, 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
And then when I was... I mean, this is quite a weird story, but...
We're here for it.
Yeah. That's what it's for, really, isn't it? I was on the strip, me and my mates, about 15 of us. And then this guy's pulled up on a moped. He's like, do you want to buy some tickets for a boat party? We're like, yeah, of course we do. Like, sorted tickets out, whatever. Went on the boat party, and the geezer we bought the tickets off. We're like, oh, yes, lads. I was like, oh, yeah, we bought the tickets off you. Cool. And then all my mates were like, oh, he's a DJ, like, to me, like, let him jump on. He was like, oh, jump on. I was like, nah, I bottled it. I was like, I'm not jumping on, no way. But at the end of the boat party, I said to him, I don't think he'll mind me saying it, Graham, I was like, you're right, mate, like, can I take your number? I'd love to maybe DJ here next year. And he was like, yeah, take my number, whatever. I thought nothing of it. In the winter that following year, so what, I think 2013, I was messaging him like, yo, any opportunities, let me know. He was like, oh, I don't think our DJ is coming back next year, so send us a mixed. Sent a mix, they didn't like it. They were like, try this, try some different kind of genres. So I did that, and they were like, yeah, it's not too bad. Come out in the summer, try a couple of weeks, see how it goes. So I was like buzzing. I was a bit scared to leave because I had a residency in Burton. I was only earning like £200 a week, but these times now I was like 19. So a few of my mates now had started to like, whereas when I was 15 earning like 100 quid a week, I was like outshining my mates. But then when I was like 20 and I was still earning that kind of money, my mates were all
Everyone's
had
got
careers
jobs
and
now,
that. I was thinking, I do need to try something. So I went to Zante. I was scared about losing my residencies, but the clubs were like, do you know what? Go and do it. Chase your dreams. So I went to Zante, started doing the boat parties with Graham, got the job kind of officially. I was a resident there all year, and then on the strip, I thought I need another job as well to do night time, so I walked into Plus Club, spoke to Gino, the owner at the time, and I was like, you got any jobs going? He's like, yeah, have a trial tonight. Did a trial, got the job. So yeah, and now, you fast forward 10 years, I still work closely with Graham. We run all the events in Zante now. He runs my actual event, runs it for me on Nathan Dawe live stuff in Zante, and the club that I walked into to get the job I now own. So I bought half of that club last year with Gino and Graham. So yeah, it's a weird story. We laugh about it whenever we're drunk and we like have a heart to heart. We're always like, if you never pulled up to me on that ped, like
none of this would happen.
I would never have met you. Gone on the boat party, got your details, and here we are now running all the events and owning the nightclub. So crazy story. Long-winded, I apologise, but it is just a weird thing how these things. I always think if I walked out of the hotel 2 minutes later, I might never have seen him. Very weird, but I do believe sometimes things are meant to be. So
100%.
Everything happens for a reason.
exactly, yeah.
So you rebranded that club. Is it now called Icon?
It's called Icon, yeah. Opened last year. Been incredible.
How's it going?
It's weird. I forget. I'm in there, and it's like I still feel like I'm just the 18-year-old DJ. So I walk in there, and like I want a drink or something. And the first couple of weeks, I was like scared to ask for a drink in my own bar. And then in the end, Gino was like, the partners can go behind the bar and get it. It's your bar. I was like, oh, forget. Like I still see you as my boss.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's incredible and it's nice, but it still doesn't really feel like mine because it's just like 10 years of like being a staff member as such.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh shit, I'm in charge now. So it's like, it's a bit weird.
What an achievement, bro.
Yeah. It's a good achievement, and obviously it's a really nice kind of like fairy tale story.
Yeah.
But I just, you know me, I just don't really let anything get to me. I'm just like, cool.
I feel like you have to be like that though. You seem like quite a grounded person.
Yeah.
No matter what you achieve, I feel like you're always gonna just be like, yeah, what's next?
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's always looking to the next thing.
Yeah.
Rather than focusing on the thing. That my problem is I don't really enjoy things enough. So like moments. My manager's always like, you know, Nath, you know, you achieved this, you achieved that. Just go out tonight and have a good time. Because trust me, these things don't come along a lot. But I'm just like, yeah, I appreciate it. But, you know, what we're doing next? What's the next tune? What's the next thing? Do you know what I mean? So it's, it's just the way my mind works.
Do you feel like you struggle to live in the moment?
Oh, yeah.
When these things are happening?
I think I reflect on them after.
Yeah.
So when you're doing massive things like...
If you're in a club.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, little things like that. Or like if you've done like a massive show or you've had a huge tune. When you're living it, you don't really feel it. Well, I don't. But then like a few months will pass and you'll see it pop up or something. Like I was on YouTube the other day just scrolling through and then it just popped up like my set when I played Wembley. Like some fan had put it on and I was just like, it was weird. I was like, that's me. And then like I played it and I was just like, that's actually weird and like pretty wild. But no, I think the reason that I do quite well is because I just carry on. Yeah. I don't let anything gas me ever. I've had good moments that I've really enjoyed, but I just always want to do the next thing. I think because I'm from a small town, I've always wanted to prove people wrong because everyone, the whole journey was always like, you know, oh, it's not going to last long. It'll be a phase, all this stuff. And it just motivated me to think, right, do you know what? I'm just going to use that as fuel so that I never ever stop. So that's what keeps me going.
Well, they can eat their words now, can't they?
Well, yeah, some of them.
At what point did you get into music production?
So that would be 2017.
Because I feel like that happened quite fast.
It did. So 2016, I was doing the mixes that were going quite viral.
Yeah.
2017, continuing to do that. I was getting big shows, getting big bookings. Did music production at college, but wasn't massively fascinated with it. I was kind of like, it's a bit boring. Kind of did it to please my mum and dad.
It's headache.
After the thing, yeah. And it was like all the old school like ADAT systems and everything was just a bit like outdated. But what I was noticing when I was 2016, 2017, going back to not living in the moment, I was like, yeah, this is amazing. Getting paid bare dough, getting loads of perks of the job, but this ain't gonna last forever, you know? And I was looking at people that are having success in music, and I was like, that needs to be me. So I started working with an amazing producer called Endor. You did, Don't You Know, Pump It Up, his biggest tune.
I've heard the name.
I know he hates that tune being what he's going for, but...
I think everyone hates their biggest song, innit?
Yeah. So I started working with Endor, taught me loads, great. That's who we did Cheating with. And obviously got Malika in to do the vocals. And then at a time, like, it wasn't signed or anything, we were just making it, because I was like, we need to bring a tune out, because I know that's where it's going in my career. It can't just be mixes for long. And then that's when got approached by a couple of labels, obviously Atlantic being one of them. There was like Atlantic, and there was a really small label that hadn't really done much. So the headache was, do I go with this massive label who's probably not going to really care about me because I'm like small fish, or do I go with this new label that's going to want to,
they're going to give everything
push
to you,
me and go whatever? Really, really hard decision. That's the washing machine, by the way. It does go on for ages, that does. I was like, it's a hard decision. In the end, I chose to go with Atlantic because I just thought I might never get an opportunity to go with one of the world's biggest record labels. and they were absolutely amazing. You know, from day one, really believed in the brand. Joe Barr, my A&R, from day one was just like, I can see something special in you. Like, you've got this huge fan base and you've not even put a tune out. You're selling out O2 academies and you haven't even got a song to your name. Like, it's unheard of. He was like, we can make something really special here. So obviously signed to Atlantic and still with Atlantic now and Joe, and just put a team in place to really kind of motor the Nathan Dawe vehicle, put me in the rooms with some of the best songwriters and producers in the world. And, you know, I'm just so grateful to have had them opportunities and just learning every single day. And I think being a DJ first, a resident DJ, learning that craft of what works, what doesn't work, when you're in a room with talented people, it's so invaluable to kind of be like, you know, I know how it's meant to sound. And I think some DJs and producers that kind of become big from production first sometimes lack a bit of that know-how and the experience of how a song should be when you've had the experience of playing it for 10, 15 years, you know, emptying dance floors, filling dance floors. You do gain a lot. So, yeah, I would say 2017 is when I really thought that needs to be the next step.
So did Atlantic sign your first single?
Atlantic signed Cheating, yeah. That was the first signing.
And how did that do?
I mean, looking back now, I wouldn't say great compared to what I'm doing now, but at the time it was huge. It kind of charted in the top 90. I think it was like 87 or something. Or it might be 90, 91. But yeah, charted in the top 100. So obviously you get the top 40, but there's actually an official top 100.
Yeah.
If you're under that, you're not. I think it's top 200 actually.
I think they changed it to top 200.
Yeah. So there's top 200, but to get in the 100, the label at the time was like, this is a crazy achievement, you know.
As your first one.
Yeah, they're like, this is a massive achievement. And obviously I didn't know much about charts and stuff, so I was just like, oh, right, cool. Like, what? I'm like the 90th biggest track this week. They were like, yeah. I was like, oh, it's massive. But yeah, it peaked at that. However, it's just sustained success, Cheating, as to the point now where it's like still the biggest song of my sets, even though it peaked at like 90 or whatever. And I've had top 10s, top 3s, still get the biggest reaction playing Cheating.
Really?
Yeah, because I think all these new fans that I've got from my new music, they find Cheating, and it's such a good tune, and it sticks so well, and it's been on so many like summer playlists and, you know, barbecue and gym playlists. It's such a known song now that it's always just the biggest tune in my set, which is really funny because it's my first one. Which is
especially
quite
to take
weird.
a classic like that and remix it to
Exactly.
modern day music, pretty much.
There's always pressure on that.
Yeah.
And there's always like, you know, don't ruin a classic type thing. You're never going to please everyone. But I do feel like we did a good job with that. And it boosted the original as well. Like, you know, their streams went through the roof. So it was a good tune. It was a good moment.
What's your biggest achievement to date? For you personally?
So not necessarily music.
It could be anything.
Anything. Or if you've got like a top 3. So I can imagine it's hard to pick.
Ooh. Really good question.
Put you right on the spot there.
It has, yeah. I mean, you know, opening...
I know you've got so many.
Yeah, I mean, opening my restaurant was a moment because since I was a kid, I always wanted to like own a bar or like a club or a restaurant. Never thought I'd be able to do it. And I've always wanted to do it, but I've been scared because I was like, how do you get licenses?
Yeah.
I've got to pay staff pensions. Like, I was like, well, how do you even do all this stuff?
Yeah.
I've always put it off. And then about 18 months ago, not even that, about 12 months ago, I think I might have seen a TikTok just kind of saying, we're all going to die. It's quite morbid, so bear with me. But it was like, we're all going to die, so just give it a fucking go.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I'm in a very fortunate position where if the restaurant doesn't work, it's not going to bankrupt me. I can just pick myself up, you know, be like, bloody hell, won't do that again. I've lost loads of dough, but luckily I've got other avenues to get it back. Whereas some people do restaurants, they fail, and, you know, they've got to sell the house and stuff. So I thought, you know what, I've just got to give it a go. So the perfect property came up, and I just went for it. And like, I was researching, like, how do you get an alcohol license? How do you hire staff? Like, and I'm proud because I'm the 100% owner and like absolutely everything in that place. And from the day I walked in to what it is now, it's all been 100% me. You know, obviously I've had people helping me, builders, designers, but I'm talking like I've not just gone to someone, right, here's loads of dough, I want a restaurant, put it there and come back in a few months. Like I've been there the whole process. And then when I stand back now on like a Saturday night and everyone's having a good time and they're eating and they're having a laugh, I'm just like, fucking hell, you own this. And sometimes you have to pinch yourself a little bit. So I'd say that's my biggest moment because it's a big achievement that I think, you know, I never thought I'd achieve. So I'd say that. If you were to ask music, I would probably say either playing at Wembley Stadium or when I did my first ever like headline show in Birmingham. Because I remember doing like the O2 Institute for my first one and just seeing like tweets from, I'm not going to name them, but seeing tweets from certain DJs that are just like, you know, bitting off a bit more than you can chew, and people saying like, because it was weird at the time, it sounds normal now, but you got to remember at the time, like...
I do remember you doing that for the first
But
time.
like a DJ that's got, not on the radio, not got any singles, to say, I'm doing a concert at the O2, and everyone's like, who the hell is going to want to go and see a club DJ at an O2 when like sit down and watch you and stuff? And everyone was just saying, what are you doing? And like, I was just seeing the ticket sales thinking, fucking hell, you're going to see soon. And then it eventually sold out. It took about 5 months to sell out. And then walking out on that stage and like seeing all these phone lights in the air, that was the first moment that I really thought, fucking hell, like, what is going on? This is actually mental. So I'd say that. Obviously, I've done much bigger things since, but I just remember, like, I don't think I'll ever get that feeling ever again of like thinking, what, nearly 2,000 people have paid for a ticket just to see me when they can go and see me in like Lavana for £1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like mad. So that's my best feeling I've ever had.
So you do something pretty iconic, and I'm sure you do it consciously. Iconic. See what I did there?
I was going to say, was that a pun?
Nice.
That was a pun. Yeah.
I thought it was a pun.
Every time, obviously, I follow you on Instagram and I watch a lot of your stories and stuff, and there's always someone that's holding your phone when you do these big sets, recording your sets and putting them on your story and stuff. And you always walk out and wave.
Do I?
Yes.
Okay, what, as in like, wait, what are you getting at?
So you get introduced.
Yes.
And then you walk to the decks.
Yeah.
And you wave at the crowd.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anybody do that as a DJ.
Yeah.
Do you notice you do that?
Well, obviously, we've got like an intro that we play at the shows. So, you know, we change it every year. We tease some of my tunes and like, you know, we get the crowd really hyped and amped up. And then obviously every year it's different. But I think last year the ending was like, make some noise for Nathan Dawe. And then that's the moment I walk on. And, you know, I've always got a lot of fans at the front and they're always, you know, want to get a glimpse of you, or there's loads of Villa fans with like scarves in the air. So I don't know. I mean, I don't consciously know that I wave. I don't know. I just walk out and give it like a little like hello and crack on.
I don't know why I brought that up. I just thought I watched you do it and I thought, is he going to do the wave? And
yeah,
man.
Every time it's going to be in my head now, thinking, what I've got to do a wave.
You can't stop now.
Sorry about that. No, but yeah, I mean, do you know what? I think it's just like, I always try and put on a show, and, you know, little things like that, the interaction with the crowd, you know, bringing like a band element to the set that I do sometimes, the big intro. It's just like, I always think, how can I, not even like in a jealousy way, I'm just like, how can I be better than the person on before or after me? You know, it's not like, it's just a competitive nature of like, 100%. Okay, now it's my time. I want to put the best set on at the festival. And all these little things that you can do just to generate that energy, it works.
Well, that's something that you do because I brought you up.
Exactly, yeah. It's just like, building that energy. And like, you know, when we do these festivals and we see the stage managers and the sound engineers, and like we come off stage and like, bro, like we've not seen the tent like that all weekend. I'm just thinking like, it's just a normal set. But I think we shouldn't underestimate the things like you mentioned, that the experience, once again, of
like
playing to crowds.
Touch, isn't it?
Yeah, these little things that make all the difference.
So when you do these festivals, what's 3 things on Nathan Dawe's rider?
A football.
A football?
A football, yeah.
We should keep you up something.
Just me, literally we do, yeah. So me and my mates just have a kick around backstage.
1 bounce.
Or 2 bounce, or no bounce. Adidas t-shirt was on there. Just my wardrobe's full of white Adidas t-shirts. And I don't know, Ciroc.
Yeah.
Ciroc.
I was expecting to rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, I've changed it now. Now owning the restaurant, I'll message the bar manager and be like, "What do we need this week?" And they'll be like, "Absolute vanilla." I'll be like, "Right, leave the Ciroc, 6 absolute vanilla," and they would just take it straight back to the restaurant.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
That's smart.
Do you still get nervous at all?
No, I think it depends what it is.
Yeah.
Festivals, no, it's more excitement. The only thing I get a little bit nervous for is like technical difficulties because I still play on Serato. So you've got all these DJs with USBs, record box, and like I'm there thinking, okay, has Jordan plugged in the charger to the Mac? Like, are the dice? I still use dicers. That's how long.
Really?
I'm like, are the dicers plugged in, working? Like, is the CDJ in reverse or is it in forward? Because once again, from my intro, it's got to work straight away. Otherwise, it will look stupid.
Yep.
So I get a little bit nervous at that. But as for the actual set, I don't ever get nervous unless it's something huge, like if it's being streamed on TV, like Reading and Leeds or Wembley, or if it's obviously like 80,000 people. I'm a bit like, bloody hell, like this is big.
What's your craziest story from DJing?
You wouldn't believe me. This story.
I probably will.
You're not a liar, so
Well, yeah.
we believe him, so you have to believe him.
Oh, how do I start
Let's
this?
go, let's
shit?
go,
How do I
let's
start
go.
this story? Okay. I was doing 2 shows in one day. I was doing a gig for Coventry Council. They had this massive lineup, huge artists. I can't even remember the magnitude of the artists, but they were massive artists. I was on there as well, and we got to the gig. There was 8 people there. Not even joking. 8 people in the crowd. Massive arena. 8 people.
What year is this?
A couple of years ago. And I was thinking, what's going on here? I was thinking, is it some sort of scam? Are they trying to get rid of loads of money? Like the council, I was thinking, they haven't even promoted this show.
Wow.
So anyway, did that, was weird. I played to the 8 people, gave them a good show, made a laugh out of it, whatever. Then JJ, KSI's rang me and said, "You're playing at Reading and Leeds later." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "How quick can you get here?" I was like, "Why?" He said, "I want you to come out with me main stage." I was like, "When are you on?" He's like, 4 hours. We were like 3.5 hours away. And I was like, bloody hell. It's like, it's going to be tight, but we'll try and make it. He was like, all right, cool. So we're burning it there, hitting traffic. The minutes are just going up. Anyway, we're like half an hour away from Reading. Was it Reading or Leeds? Reading. It was Reading Festival. So we were like half an hour away. It was like, let's say, for example, he was on at 4 o'clock. It was 3:30. The sat-nav was saying like 30 minutes. So we literally haven't got a second to spare now. All of us dying for a wee. We're about 15 miles away, and we're saying we've only got like 6 miles left on the tank. And the driver's like, we need to get petrol. And I'm like, if we stop and get petrol, we're not going to make it. Like 4 o'clock's when he's playing lighter. It's a set that's like pre-recorded, not his vocals, but like the actual backing tracks. Yeah. I've got to be, if I'm not there at 4 o'clock, he's doing lighter without me. So I've got to be there at 4 o'clock. If we stop for petrol, we're 100% not going to make it. I'd rather run out of petrol and then just wait till the AA come, because my set's not till 9 o'clock in the tent, the dance tent. I was trying to get there early for his set. So anyway, we go in. These times now, there's no petrol left, like it's saying empty. We're still 10 minutes away. My tour manager's on the phone to like Reading. They've like said, where are you? We're like, we're literally 10 minutes away. We're going to come in and literally walk straight on stage, have a mic ready, have his pack ready. Like we're going to make it. Thinking, I think we're going to really mess up here, because we're about like, I can feel, you can feel the engine going. Anyway, they've like stopped traffic. They're in communication. My managers, their people. So when we're like a minute away, they've like stopped the traffic like up the road. So literally we're making it. We're down. I can see like the main stage in the background, and no word of a lie, our first 2 tyres go over like the entrance to the artist car park, and the van just went do and stopped. So it's just literally stopped dead, blocking the whole entrance. We've just, it's like 1 minute to 4. Literally, just ragged the door open of the van. Like we're running towards the stage. Still a good walk, because we haven't even got into like the artist village, backstage, anything. We're just at the front gates. A buggy's like meeting us as it's like Baywatch, like, and then we're like jump into a buggy. They take us straight to the stage. literally, as I'm getting to the stage, JJ's just like, make some noise for my boy Nathan Dawe. And I'm like chucking this pack on still. And then you'll see it's on BBC iPlayer. I'm like running on like mad, like, yo, yo, yo. And no one knows that literally we made it within half a second of going on stage.
Oh my God.
And the annoying thing was, we used to always travel with a videographer. And that day I was like, nah, we don't need to travel with one. We'll just meet you there at Reading and Leeds. So we didn't catch any of it on camera. But we always said after the set, because obviously I went on stage then, I didn't get a chance to get nervous because the adrenaline of like 80,000 people going mad and like singing the tune word for word. Then I've come off stage and I'm just like, you've got adrenaline, nerves, like happiness, excitement, stress, worry, all hitting you. And I was just like sat in my dressing room like, what has just happened? Forgetting I've got to do my own set in like 2 hours. But we all said like no one, you can tell that story 100 times, but no one will really truly believe how mad it was unless you were in that car.
Yeah.
It's just mental. It was mental.
How did Light with KSI come around?
So if we just had Flowers with JK, tunes gone like top 20. So it was like, oh, okay, now like, you know, it's my first ever charting record.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And it was just a huge tune. And we were like, how on earth do you follow the record up? Because my manager's got a saying, which is quite famous, is it's quite easy to have a hit, but to have another hit is near on impossible. Like, it's not easy at all to follow up a hit. So we were like, God, like, it's make or break now. Rather a one-hit wonder, or it's like, here we go, you're in the business. So there was a tune called Lighter that Ella Henderson wrote, but it was a ballad. And Ella's on my label, so her team sent it to my team and was like, Ella's done this ballad, she's got other things to focus on with her album. Is it something Nathan will be interested in working on and maybe turning it into a club record? So no one's heard Lighter, the ballad version, but there is a ballad version. And there was just something about the repetitiveness, the melodies that I was like, this is really catchy. So we pitched it up, obviously up the tempo, made it into a house track, and we were like, bloody hell, this sounds, there's something special about this record. Like, you just get a feeling. I was like, this is a big record. Then my manager was like, let's get a rapper on it, because we were thinking, it worked with JK, we need to get a rapper on this, that's your lane, rap house, whatever. So we were thinking, who can we get? But, you know, it was hard because I was still a new name. So all these big rappers are like, who the fuck's Nathan Dawe, like, kind of thing, like, nah. And then my manager goes, right, I've got an idea. We're going to ask KSI. And I've admitted this to KSI. I was a bit like, are you sure? Like, you're forgetting this was like, he's never brought a hit record out. You know, he was just a YouTuber that tried to do music, you know, which weren't commercial music, wasn't successful in the commercial world. And it was like, you know, people in my team, in the label, my friends, some of them were going like, bro, like, you just broke through and now you're going to go and do a tune with a YouTuber. Like, are you sure? I was like, look, he's doing a verse. When he sends it back, I'll hear it. If it's not very good, we'll say no.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm now playing COD, lockdown times. Managers message me like, yo, just got the verse back. I'm like, all right, let me finish this map and then I'll listen. So I finished the map. I was like, oh, lads, 2 seconds. I've got to listen to this verse. Played the KSI verse and I was like, that was quite good. A lot of puns in there. I thought, let me listen to it again. I thought, you know, it's really good. Like, I thought, it's not what I expected. So I rang my manager. I was like, that is actually good. I was like, we've got a decision to make now. If I'm honest, I thought it was going to come back crap. And I thought, you know, I was surprised at how good it was. So it kind of gave me a decision to make now. It was like, do I go with the opinion of some people that are saying, don't do it, bro, you're going to tarnish your brand, you know, or do I take a risk? And I thought, you know what? I've took risks my whole career. I've never followed the rules. I've always gone against the grain. And I thought, fuck it, basically.
That's what life's about, isn't it? Why stop now?
It sounds good. I like it. My manager's fully sold on it. I'm now fully sold on it. A few of my friends weren't. A few of the label weren't. But I was like, this is the record. The people that meant stuff to me, like my managers, my A&Rs, my family, they loved it. And I was like, do you know what? If no one else likes it, I don't care. I like it. So we started teasing it a little bit. on social media, and like people were going mad for it.
I remember seeing the teaser and thinking, wow.
Yeah, then obviously because I'm not a big gamer, but then I then began to realise how big KSI is, because I was seeing my socials like boom, like I went up like 100,000 followers, and I was like, God, like, you know, I now know about this geezer. Like, whether or not people think he's a good musician, you know, he's never had a tune on radio at this point.
Yeah.
And I remember I was at his house and we were doing some content, and he was saying to me, like, do you reckon radio's going to play this? I was like, bro, I reckon we've got a good chance. Like, it's a big record. And he couldn't fathom himself, like, that he was going to be on mainstream radio. And then, yeah, tune come out. First week, it went number 4. Week after, it went number 3. And the numbers were just crazy. And obviously then, all the label were like, yeah, we told you it was going to be. And everyone around me was like, you know, yeah, it's a hit. And, you know, I think, obviously, it was huge for me, like, propelled me into, like, a massive kind of name in the industry. Like, going back to the case of, you can have one hit, but then to come back straight away and be like, bang, it's like, shit, this geezer's actually arrived. Like, he's doing bits. So that helped me massively. And it helped JJ massively, because I think that's the moment people thought, Jesus, like, he can actually do this kind of music.
Yeah.
And obviously what he's done since in music speaks for itself. But I think just that tune at that time was the perfect time for me and him. It made complete sense, and it changed my life. And, you know, it didn't change his life, but it definitely propelled his music career massively. So, yeah, very good time that was.
If you could collab with anybody in the world, who would it be?
Drake, I always say it all the time. Drake would be the number one.
Same. It'd have to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's never really done like a housey commercial track. I actually think he would smash it. I say it in every interview just because, like, maybe one day I'll be in a position to do it, and then they can chop all these little clips together. And, like,
Yeah.
You're speaking into existence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, no, I'd say Drake, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Right, so we have a question about our great team, Aston Villa.
Yes.
Connor, I'm going to let you ask that question.
Right, first, how on form are we right now?
It's unbelievable. I mean, when's this going out? Don't know yet.
It'll be this month.
Okay.
Hang on. No, it'll be within let's say within 20 days.
Yeah.
Okay. So near the end of the season then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might be in Europe by now. Well, at the minute, we're just drawn to Brighton.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Well, no, it wasn't Brighton.
No.
Who do you play?
Brentford.
Brentford.
Same
Just drew
thing.
to Brentford.
Just drew to Brentford, which I think, at the time when I was watching it, I was fuming.
Yeah.
But then after the game, I thought, do you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, to go there, get a point,
Yeah.
play bad but still get a result is the sign of a really good team. Unai Emery, fantastic. Demands nothing but respect. And it is an amazing time to be a Villa fan. You know, I'm going to the games now. Earlier in the season, I was waking up thinking, I can't even be asked to go, man, like today.
Yeah.
Dragging myself there, getting spanked or drawing, going back and just thinking, sitting in traffic, thinking, this is long distance, you know. Now, like, the other day, we played Newcastle, woke up early, I was like, I'm gassed for today.
We
and then,
missed that game and I'm fuming.
mate.
That was the game we decided not to go to.
We were just so excited, and the thing was, before the game, we were all saying, like, it's typical Villa now. We're gonna get hammered. You know, you build your hopes up, you get hammered, and then to do them like that, we were like,
Incredible.
what a day!
Yeah.
And then, you know, you want to follow up against Brentford. We didn't. Hopefully, we beat Fulham
Tomorrow
on Tuesday. But you know, it's like I don't get too excited being a Villa fan, but something special is happening.
It's an exciting time to be a Villa fan for sure. Where do you think we'll finish?
Obviously, I hope Europe. I feel like we might just fall short and finish like 8th or 9th. I just think we've got a few injuries. A couple of the teams below us have got games in hand.
Yeah, I think that's the main problem.
And let's be realistic. When we were 17th under Gerrard, if someone said, you're going to finish 8th, a couple of points off Europe, you'd go, absolutely.
No chance.
So as much as it might be upsetting if we do miss out on it, you've still got to look at it and think, what a season.
Yeah,
And what a
100%.
turnaround. And I think with the good summer transfers, we've got a massive season ahead. But I would say 8th. But I'd obviously love us to be 6th.
I probably am going to get slated for this, and I've said it to Dad. I don't think we're going to lose for the rest of the season. I don't think no one's going to beat us.
I mean,
I like the optimism.
I love it.
I love the
I
optimism.
generally just don't see it right now. I just can't see it. I mean,
even after that Brentford performance, it was a bit shaky.
It was a bit shaky.
it was shaky, but then if you look back at the Newcastle performance, it's like, if we're going to go out to Newcastle, we've got Man United coming up, Spurs, we've already beat Spurs this season.
Yeah, and they're playing awful.
That's what I'm saying. Personally, I just don't see us losing for
Do
the
you
rest
know
of
what?
the
Who
season.
knows?
But
Do you know what's crazy about that Newcastle game as well? We hit the bar.
Yeah.
We hit the post.
Still in 6-0.
Watkins had one disallowed,
Yeah.
and we still won 3-0.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
You know, that was one of them performances that just you got it absolutely
Yeah.
right, and Newcastle got everything wrong.
Yeah.
But you know, like I say, I'll be happy with top half. If we were to get sixth, I just can't.
I'd be happy with like top 8.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Or
top
8,
half.
top
you know,
8,
but
yeah.
like, God, if we were to get Europe, I don't know what I'd do. I thought that was like years away. Do you know what I mean? But who knows?
Right then.
Here's the
Five-a-side
question.
football.
Five-a-side football. Mm-hmm. You're in goal.
Yeah.
And you have to pick 4 players from the current Aston Villa squad to be in your team.
Who are you taking with you?
It can be anybody on the pitch or bench. And the unders.
Have I got to be in goals or can I have me?
No, that was the one rule.
Yeah,
said,
you
I
yeah,
can't
you
take
got to be
any.
in goal.
Okay. I'm gonna go Esri in defence, just because I think everyone always talks about Tyrone because he's probably the bigger name, but Esri's not put a foot wrong in my opinion, especially since Unai Emery's been in. So I'd have Konza. I would have Louise.
He's having a great time at the moment.
Yeah,
Brentford hero.
yeah. And I'd have Buendia because I think we play so much better when he's
Yeah,
playing.
he's
You said
fantastic.
that Nathan would choose Wendy
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
way down.
I said I reckon you'll take Buendia or Coutinho.
Yeah, no, I'd have Buendia and then obviously Ollie up front. Who else?
Yeah.
That's my five-a-side team.
What would be yours?
I'm going to go Mings.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Moreno. I'm going to go Traore and I'm going to go Watkins.
Okay. I would take Moreno. I would take McGinn.
Oh my God, McGinn.
I would take
know,
Watkins. And I'll take Coutinho. That's what I would
Interesting.
take.
I think they're all good teams.
I'll take Nathan Dawe.
Yeah.
He's the
try my
goalie. He does keep you up, is it all right?
Yeah, I can do that.
One bounce at the festivals and all that kind of stuff. Anything you want to finish up on, Con?
No, thank you for your time.
Oh, lads,
Absolutely
no,
fantastic.
honestly.
It was fantastic to have you and have a talk with you.
Is there anything that
Appreciate
you
it.
want to finish up on?
Anything you want to plug? Anything?
Oh,
Nathan Dawe's remix of Oh Baby with Mist is out now.
Yeah.
yes, that's out now.
Yeah.
Got another tune coming soon.
Give us the exclusive.
I was just
one.
about to, then I thought, I'm in London finishing something this week, which is it's massive. So I'm looking forward to that. Sorry, I don't know, man. It's going to be another good summer. You know, playing all over the place. You know, IB for Rocks every Monday and doing Napa every Tuesday, Zante every Wednesday. All the UK festivals and stuff. So just looking forward to be back at it, having a big summer, and hopefully seeing you boys along the way.
Of course.
Yeah.
So just one more question.
Of course,
You
yeah,
know
man.
when you're flying around the world and you go into Zante, then Napa, then are you on Ryanair's with all the fans?
Yeah, I mean, when you're going to these islands, there's not much options.
I understand. yeah.
And it's not even like that. I don't mind getting on flights like Jet2. I love Jet2 and like EasyJet and all that. But like last summer we did like 120 flights
Wow.
or something crazy like that. 110 flights or something.
I was going to ask you about that because your Instagram caption was 84 flights, 60 shows, and 0 sleep.
Yeah, makes sense. It's like do you know what? I don't mind it at the airports. What I do get quite a lot at the airports is like everyone's on lads' holiday. They're excited. It's their first flight of the year. They're drunk. I'm very tolerant of people that are excited to see me or say anything. But you know when like you're in the queue to get on the flight and you've got like a bunch of like Birmingham fans or something. And they're just shouting like, Nathan, you Villa wanker. And I'm just like, lads, it's my 80th flight of the summer, please. Like, it's 6:30 in the morning. I was in Bulgaria yesterday. I'm on the way to Ibiza. Please be quiet. You know, and it's, sometimes they can be a bit annoying. Or, you know, Villa fans that like, just chanting Villa songs at me for a reaction. And I'm just like, lads, please.
Have you ever joined in a few?
Maybe, but no. But yeah, so sometimes that can be a bit hectic, but 99% of the time, everyone's very, very nice and like respectful. They come over and just, ask for the picture or ask for it or ask for something, and you do it, and they let you get on with the flight. I've never flown private, but I am actually flying private this bank holiday because I was meant to be doing a festival in Brighton and doing I've got my headline show. You know what I do in Birmingham?
Yeah.
I'm doing it in Glasgow this Sunday. So I'm meant to be in Brighton and Glasgow. So obviously it's a long way away from each other. And the set times wouldn't work. And we tried to move the set time for the festival and they weren't having any of it. So it was either cancel the show or try and work out travel arrangements. We couldn't get a flight because the flights that are available wouldn't get us there on time. Looked into a helicopter. Well, my manager did, and I was like, whoa. I would never get in a helicopter, like, ever.
Would you not?
I don't know, never.
Would you ever skydive or anything?
No, none of that.
Bungee jump?
Bungee jump, none of that, no. But like, I definitely won't get in a helicopter. I just think it's so dangerous. So the only other option then...
Wait, why a plane if not a helicopter though?
Well, there's millions of reasons. Plane's got multiple engines, it can glide, you've got hardly any chance of like going down. Helicopter, if that motor goes, that's it, it's finished.
Then you have
and
to
so many
skydive.
famous people that have amazing pilots and the best helicopters have died. So I just wouldn't get in a heli. So then the only option then was cancel the show or look into getting a jet. And I've never flown on a jet. Now I know why, because the price is ridiculous to go from Brighton to Glasgow. But that's the only option we've had. So I've now got I'm going to feel like a rock star on Sunday because I've got to finish this set at the festival in Brighton, straight into a jet to Glasgow, doing Glasgow, headline show, thousands of people. Then the next day, Jet 2 to Malta for my show in Malta on Monday. So back to reality straight away on Jet 2. But I am going to be flying private for the first time. So no Villa fans or Birmingham fans singing crap at me on a hungover Monday morning. So I'm looking forward to that. So you'll probably see that all over the gram at some point.
That'll be
Replay someday anyway, so you might be singing to yourself.
I know, like, I've had so my friend's got a box at Man U and he was like, do you want to come in? I was like, bro, like, I would love nothing more. But I'm in bloody Brighton and Glasgow. So, I mean, that's not a bad thing, but I'm just, I can't come to the Villa. So I'm gutted. So I'll be watching that on my phone, going on stage at like 3:30 and then being in Glasgow at like 6. So it's going to be one hell of a weekend, to be fair. Looking forward to it, though.
Just before we finish up, leave us with one quote that you live by.
I would copy the one on TikTok and say, we're all going to die, so give it a go. But it is a good quote, really. You can't
quote.
really argue with that, can you?
can't.
Like, I think when you actually deep that quote, I know it's funny, but when you actually deep it, it's like, no one's going to remember us. Yeah, if you're famous and you leave a legacy, they are, but eventually they're not.
Yeah.
One day, legends are going to die.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't stress too much about things you can't control. Give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? And like you say, we're not all going to be here for that long. Before you know it, it's going to be over. I'm only 28, so yeah, I'm still young, but God, it feels like I'm 18, last week. So time does go quick. Give it your best shot. Don't worry about what people think about you. If you believe in it, go for it. And work hard. Keep knocking doors. It's quite a long quote, isn't it?
No. Keep it going.
These gems are good.
Yeah, just keep knocking doors down until eventually someone answers. And don't be afraid of rejection. And like I say, just give it a go. That's all I can say. Just give it a go. If it don't work, try something else. Don't work, try something else. But just never give up.
Never give up.
There's your TikTok. Cut down. Have that.
Right, bro. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having us into your beautiful home.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We know you're busy. We know you got to get up early, so let's pack up and get some sleep. You've been watching the Podcast Club, and this is Nathan Dawe. See you soon.